Not really what I expected at all, but it is what it is. I think it was a good lesson for us to see a trade set up, but then actually not work. Um, Along with taking some profits into the trade, and then kind of moving our stop loss to break even. Saved us a lot of money that we could have lost if you were to hold all the way to that original stop. So I think it was good. I mean, obviously, I wanted the trade to work. It looked great, but I had a feeling once we made that new low today out of this consolidation and just didn't really start moving, um, that it was probably not going to work. We did kind of get this little H pattern here into 180. And for y'all that weren't there this morning, this is Apple. This is what I traded this morning. But whatever. I mean, it bounced right off 180. That just proves again that that's going to be an important level for us to break once we can break it. And when that day comes and we actually get the break, we need to be disciplined enough to hold and really hold for a target. I mean, at least $1 move brings us to the actual low of 179. But then I think we can probably get another dollar out of it. It's going to take a while. I mean, it's not going to be one of those trades where we can just be in and out in a few minutes. And obviously, I love those trades. I miss trading Tesla because that's what it would be. I mean, I'd be in and out in under 5 minutes, 90% of the time. Boom, boom, make your money, leave. Apple's just not that stock. So that's why I was probably annoying this morning, but I talked about it a lot. I mean, it's just a slow stock. You got to put it on a little bit bigger time frame and let it work. But yeah, Duco, I mean, right off 180. So, and I talked about them not chipping the wall, so they didn't end up executing all those orders there. If they did, volume would have spiked, we didn't. And then the market bounced and Apple bounced and never came back. So it's okay. The level's still there when it comes. We're gonna crush it. So we just gotta wait for that to happen. So definitely gonna keep this on watch. I mean, we bounced a little bit further than I wanted, but we can easily come back down pre-market, get a weak market tomorrow, and we move on. But I mean, everyone should know what's going on tomorrow. I don't want to waste time asking you guys to guess if you don't know. But just real quick, NVIDIA, they lost $100 billion in market cap in the first 5 minutes of the day. Kind of a cool statistic there. That's how much money it took to move the stock that much. I mean, we opened around 720 and we made a low of the day at 677. So call this 680, right? 20, 40 points, within the first hour or two. Pretty wild, pretty solid move. But if I was a gambling man and I had to put money on one side, it's going to be the downside here in NVIDIA. They just have the expectations on this is way too high. Big reason why you saw a sell off today. People with a lot of money are getting out of the way. They don't know which way it's going to go. If they did, they'd probably be holding it. This would probably continue to go. That doesn't mean their earnings aren't going to be good. I mean, they could easily just have good earnings, but yeah, Colonel. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's cool, whatever. They're leading the AI space. A lot of people are going to continue to watch them, but and yeah, I think the stock has a lot of value. I think over time it could get up into the 4-digit mark, over $1,000 a share. But right now, going from 500 to 1,000 for a company like this, that I don't know if it's still more valuable than Google, but it was at least for a couple days, market cap wise, which I mean, again, doesn't really make sense. So this sell off was due. And what better time and more predictable time than today, right before earnings. So yeah, I mentioned it a lot this morning, but they have to absolutely destroy the estimates for this to even have a chance of going up. Honestly, I think that this move today really messed with the weekly options. People are going to be buying, I think the strata was the 680 puts and the 780 calls. That 100-point straddle there, and we came right down to 680. So the puts probably cashed out. Does that mean that maybe this pullback is going to allow it to actually bounce if earnings are good? Yeah, sure. Is it going to go to 800? Probably not. Even if they barely beat earnings, I expect a drop, maybe even to 600. But a big reason why I'm not going to be trading or holding options through earnings is this could go flat. I mean, we just don't know. The options are priced insanely high because it's going to be a very popular name. Everyone in the stock market world is going to be watching these earnings tomorrow, right? So the market makers are going to price these options extremely high. Let's just see what the IV is right now. IV is 157%. So they are expecting a pretty solid move on this. So yeah, I mean, what do they cost? $5,000? Yeah, $4,000 to $5,000 right at the money. It's just crazy. We can't really trade that right now. But they price them that high because let's just say the stock goes nowhere and we kind of go up and down and chop and kind of open flat-ish. All the calls and puts are going to lose value overnight regardless. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't touch these earnings with the 10-foot pole for sure. So yeah, it's pretty insane, Stickman. What's up, Jeremy Dennis? Yeah, but you guys know how it goes. Ask questions, ask whatever. Eric Meow, haven't seen you in here before. What's up, man? This is kind of a free for all. You can ask whatever you want. If you don't know how to type, Eric, just click the little chat button right next to the dude with the plus sign by the free live stream that you clicked on. I see you typing. Cool. You guys on YouTube or Twitter or Twitch, you can ask questions as well. I will see those. Going pretty good, Eric. Going pretty good. Taco or sandwich? Probably sandwich. The other catalyst affecting the market is FOMC. Yeah, we do have FOMC minutes tomorrow. I mean, when you see that, I mean, most people kind of see the FOMC title. It'll definitely move the market a little bit. I mean, they're going to go over the notes of the last meeting. That's all it is. But anytime you see FOMC minutes, it's not Powell actually talking. They're literally just going over basically the teleprompter of what he talked about and why, and just going a little bit more into detail on the notes of that last meeting. So, like I said, it may move the market a bit. I wouldn't look to get into a day trade around that time. I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern as usual. So just keep that in mind for tomorrow. But the big event is going to be NVIDIA. There's some other EV names tomorrow. Let's put this on a bigger time frame here and look. I'm doing the earnings live stream tomorrow, so if you guys want to pop in, feel free. I'm just going to be watching, obviously, NVIDIA, and then the EVs I'm going to go over here. So Rivian, really not much going on with the stock. I mean, I've seen a couple of their cars out, but probably 1 to every 100 Teslas I see. I just don't think anyone's just going to overpower Tesla. They're so far ahead right now, and it's when you think of EVs, you think of Tesla, right? Maybe Rivian is cool or whatever. It looks like all their earnings here have been negative. So I don't know if they can get a positive number. Maybe this thing starts ripping. I don't know. It's just not something I trade. And the other one's going to be Lucid. I feel like, I don't know. Have you guys seen any Lucids around? I think I've seen one. Same thing, just really not doing a whole lot. Way down here after IPO. Tesla hasn't been much of a mover either. I mean, I hate it, but it is what it is. We just got to wait for this to the sleeping giant to wake back up again, because this used to be my bread and butter. I could usually find a trade on it every day, at least 1 or 2 a week. But yeah, I think I've seen like one Lucid car, Stickman, but nothing too crazy. I've seen more Rivians than Lucids, but obviously seen a lot. I mean, I've seen more Cybertrucks in real life than I've seen Lucids. So if that puts anything into perspective for you. Yeah, me too, Colonel. When I was overseas like a year ago or two, I didn't see many Teslas. I saw more of the Lucid and Rivian. But, this is stuff that you see outside of the market that you can then kind of correlate with the charts, So, yeah, NVIDIA, big name, and then Rivian and Lucid are going to be the other 2 watches. We do have Carvana on Thursday, I believe. Kind of a squeeze name. Nothing too fancy with it, but, you kind of get these little squeezes out of nowhere on Carvana. So if they do good and we start ripping through this 60, 63 level, then this could be off to the races for Carvana. I mean, I don't know if you guys were in the trading world when this short was a thing, but this was a crazy, crazy move. And I've met some people who made a lot of money off that. I don't know what a lucid Iridium is. Only reason I even notice them is because I know their stock, Duco. Nice luxury Chinese EVs. Okay, cool. Anyone on Twitter or YouTube, you guys can comment as well if you have anything. I'll go over tickers or whatever. But AMD today, I'll go over that real quick. I really loved the setup until now. I think a lot of people were watching this. I did see the options were getting priced for an upside move, and AMD is kind of giving up. I think the NVIDIA sell-off today definitely did pull this down. Unfortunately, this wedge pattern was great. We broke out a little bit, and I'm glad I held off on that swing until day 2. It's pulled back in and just probably done. I mean, maybe we just kind of go sideways here. I'll probably just take this pattern off. But yeah, so, I feel like, hi, Miss Nikki, how are you? I feel like the semiconductor chip, AI stuff, AMD, NVIDIA. Actually, let's check out SMCI real quick. They had another dip today down to 700. Look at that. Just a casual 100-point move today. I think the euphoric stage of all of these is probably done. I mean, I talked to you guys a lot about when this rolls over, you don't want to be the guy caught in this. You don't want to be swinging into these new highs and not be paying attention, because you will get caught in a day like this on SMCI. It wasn't today, but yesterday or Friday. Crazy move, right? 1077 high, 800 low. You don't want to be involved in that. Because you don't see a single green candle that's as big as this. That's because people are much happier selling something than they are buying it. That's just where the psychological aspect of all this comes in. The short side, the rollovers that you get on stuff that's just squeezes for days and days are pretty violent. So we'll see what NVIDIA does. It's going to be exciting. I hope you guys are on that earnings call. For anyone else listening, I'm going to be doing that earnings live stream tomorrow, right around market close. Something I want everyone to notice is right at close, I want everyone to be looking at either at my screen or their own, but have times and sales up, because that typically will give you a hint of where this is going to go. You're either going to see a massive buy order or a massive sell order right at close, and most of the time that's going to give you an indication of what's about to happen. So, and I'm talking millions of shares being sold, so we will see. But yeah, I mean, really not much else going on, guys. I mean, Netflix pulled back in, Disney's probably done. Amazon had a weird little gap up today at close. Apple wasn't very fun today. I mean, I'm still waiting on this BA move. BA is one of those stocks where if you're patient enough to wait for that big move to come and then you can execute on it, there's nothing better. I love BA. So just going to be waiting on this bear flag here to break. If we can break down aggressive one day, we'll know it's ready. Play the 200 break, and then definitely hold to at least the low of 198.32. We break that. That could just be the circuit breaker move here. And then we have a little bit left in this gap here down to 196.50-ish, which gives us, another $1.50 on that. And then it could just be a bloodbath down to 180. So to me, this is a massive, massive trade waiting to happen. Just need a weak market and ideally a little bit more negative news on BA. We might be able to get the trade of the year. I mean, I'm telling you guys, this BA is a stock where you could make it the trade of the year for yourself if you catch it the right way. Roku. Let's check it out. You have to wait 30 days. Yeah, that last BA trade was not fun, but I promise you I'm getting it back. So, wow, Roku got killed. I don't really know a whole lot about Roku. I used to trade it when it was really moving. I just kind of rotated it out of my watch list. But looks like negative earnings, gap down. Day 2 trade was there for a little bit. I mean, a $2 range today, nothing that crazy. I wouldn't be trying to smash this short anymore. This is a pretty aggressive move. I think there might be a little relief bounce in it, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, pretty solid uptrend that they gave up here. But again, I don't know a whole lot about Roku. I don't even know really how to think about Roku. Outside of the charts. I mean, I feel like everyone's got some sort of a Roku smart TV. I mean, I know I do. Every TV I have in my house has Roku on it. I don't know why they're doing bad, why they would be doing good. But I don't know about y'all, but I know that Roku is me on every new smart TV there is. So I don't know. Maybe something to watch. It just tends to be kind of a slow one until you get a big move out of it, and then it cools back down. I mean, I used to trade it up in this area where it was really moving, couple $100 a share, and now it's just really nothing. Streamio 3 a month, illegal. I like that. That's right up my alley, Colonel. Let's see what that is. Streamio, freedom of stream. I am not mad at that. Doesn't scare me. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, me too. Cool. All right, I'm gonna look into that after the stream. I know how to get the YouTube with no ads, but it's not very easy to use. But cool. Let's see what else we got here. Went over BA, talked about Apple, still waiting on that 180 break on Apple. I guess we can look at. You think cruise stocks will ever go back to pre-COVID prices? Yeah, I mean, I do think eventually. COVID was just something that really destroyed the stocks. I mean, it was in simple terms. And they've just never recovered. But, so the way that I would talk about this is cruise liners really haven't changed a whole lot, right? There's no crazy innovations. I mean, yeah, I know they've come out with some new, like the biggest cruise ship ever or, whatever. They've come up with some newer innovations, but it's not like they've changed the world, right? So until they can really innovate, I don't know how you're going to do it. I mean, I don't know how you could change slides, restaurants, bars, pools, a hotel on the water, right? Resort on the water. Well, Stickman, you know more than me. I've never been on a cruise before, so give me your thoughts on that. But just from a stock perspective, I think they're going to need something that's not only revenue generating, but some sort of innovation to really get these popular again and really get them, kind of popping off for them to get back up there. So Eric, very possible. I don't know the time frame on it. So it was an awesome short when COVID came out. As were airliners, right? But outside of the cruise ships and the airliners, think about credit card debt, inflation, all those other things. I mean, when groceries are a lot more expensive than they used to be, well, I think the buying a cruise is probably much lower on the list of things that people are going to be buying, right? So that's another way to look at it. But cruise ships aren't going anywhere. No, I mean, I've never been on one. I feel like it's, I don't want to hate on it because I haven't gone on one before, but I don't know how much bingo and stand-up comedy I could watch on the in the ocean and swim with another 1,000 people. Doesn't really make me too intrigued, but again, I've never been on one, so. But yeah, good question. Good question. The new cruise ship looks pretty crazy though. I think Stickman's the one who showed me that. Pretty interesting. Icon of the Seas. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Colonel, I feel the same way, to be honest with you. I feel the same way. But again, never been on one. Just I don't know, something about them. I'm kind of a kind of a freak when it comes to like public pools and stuff like that. Water slides, whatever is fun. I mean, believe me, I went to all the water parks and stuff as a kid, but I'd probably hang out at the bars. But yeah, so we'll see what the rest of the week brings. I hate how patient I've been, but I also kind of love it because when that next really big trade comes and we execute it to a T, it's all going to be worth it. And the setups that I'm waiting on here are A plus in my eyes. So we just got to wait. I thought we had it today, and we didn't. But like I said earlier in the stream, it proved to us that 180 is a very important level. That if we can then break, it'll be a really solid breakdown trade. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So, I mean, what else you guys got for me? Any other tickers? Anything you want me to go over? I'm trying to think of some news that I've heard recently. I mean, another thing I was thinking about this morning was I don't know if you guys saw um, Mark Zuckerberg talk about the Vision Pro, and obviously he's going to vouch for his own company, right? But he talked about how not only is their price drastically different, 10 times less than the Vision Pro. The screen quality, the screen width, apps and all that. I mean, I think it's cool that the Vision Pro, you don't need like controllers, those little handheld things. But it was like a 5-minute video, and he just went on and on and on about all these different points, like resolution, little stuff like that, that the Vision Pro is lacking for 10 times the price. Weight, charging, all that stuff. So I kind of had that in mind as well on this Apple short this morning. And yeah, BYND, that is a crazy ticker. Let's see what's going on with old Beyond Meat. I laugh every time I see this stuff in the stores. Yeah, I mean, just in the dumps, gone, done. I remember trading the IPO. When was this? 2019. Yeah, Capital One and Discover did. I'll get into that here in a second. Home Depot, yeah, I mean, I really got nothing there on Beyond Meat. I don't know who wants to eat that stuff. No offense to you if you do, but Home Depot. Well, actually, you know what? We should look at Walmart because sometimes those are correlated. Walmart did decent on earnings. I saw some people trade it today online. I'm gonna guess it was to the upside. I just don't know. The downside move looked okay, but yeah. So I don't know. I thought maybe this would bring up Home Depot, but if you want to pay attention to stuff like Home Depot, like the home builder names, you need to be paying attention to new home sales. That number that comes out, I think once a month or twice a month or whatever, that's going to correlate to people buying, stuff from Home Depot, right, and Lowe's. and also pay attention to lumber costs. There was something that happened, I think, a year ago when lumber went through the roof. New home sales were down because less homes were getting built. So all that stuff is going to correlate together. And typically this is stuff I would never even think about, but it's stuff I've learned trading on the trading floor, because these are all little tricks and little correlations that they're going to have with all these different numbers and stocks, because I mean they trade way more stocks than I do. But this is where I've learned this stuff. But yeah, let's get into Capital One and Discover. I don't know specifics. I know that I think, didn't Capital One buy Discover, or at least merge with Discover? It was something like that. Let's do a quick Google search here. Capital One and Discover. Merger. Capital One, Discover merger could put a bigger squeeze on credit card users, blah, blah, blah. What to know. Let's see what the New York Times says. Valued around $35 billion deal. Pretty decent. Adding its existing customer base of 100 million. Okay. Last year, Capital One had 122.9 billion in outstanding accounts receivable payments. Wow. So basically 122.9 billion in debt. Regulators approve it. I think it's already approved, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sit here and bore you guys just reading this article, but definitely something to pay attention to. I don't know economically what this is going to do, but Discover Card hasn't done a whole lot. Obviously, credit cards are extremely popular these days because not a lot of people have a lot of cash. So put it on credit. It's like we have a never-ending debt pool. So I don't know. We'll see. Chart-wise, I don't know that I would trade this until we kind of got up to these highs here. And then Capital One. Definitely a lot cleaner of a chart. Maybe something we can watch tomorrow through 140. I don't know. Just kind of weird action. For my trading style, probably not what I'm going to be looking for that closely, but something good to keep in mind. I mean, all these little mergers and deals and stuff, it's it pays dividends just learning about it and watching how the stocks move, because you're going to see something like that again. It could be a year from now, it could be 10 years from now, but if you can kind of understand it and put it away, and when you see it again, you might be able to make some money off it. So we will see. We're only about 28 minutes in, guys. I won't keep you all night, but Baba, I'm still going to 150 call for 2026. Okay, I'm guessing you got those down when it was pretty cheap. Someone keeps joining and leaving. Let's see, 150 call for 2026. So for one, I don't know what you're worried about if you have 2 years on this. I do think 150 is very doable. You have it here around lows. Let me just go on a little bit bigger time frame. I mean, yeah, it looks like you're in at a really good spot. I don't know what they cost, or at least what you paid for them. I don't know any details, but if you have them for 2026, I do think that that's a pretty good spot to be in. I don't think Bob is going to go anywhere. It's just, it's going to take a little bit of a catalyst, and this thing can rip again. I mean, even if you get a move up to 120, I think you're going to be solid. Alerts are going to average 3 point. They're only 3.5. That's insane. Let's go take a look here. 2026 January, 150 calls. So you're in the green. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I think that's solid. They had 130 volume today, 3,700 open interest. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on it technical wise. I think that you're in a good spot. I like the 150 strike. If you had like a 300 strike, I'd tell you you're crazy. But 150, I like that strike price. Bob is not going to go anywhere. All it takes is a little bit of good news, and this thing could pop up $100. You have 2 years of time though, so I think it's just something that you should always kind of have your ear to the ground on. Make sure that you don't miss any news. But over 2 years, they're going to have some good news at one point, and they're also probably going to have bad news as well. So I would just obviously keep an eye on it. But again, I like your positioning here. I like this idea that Quinch put out. And, it's not something that you want to be managing every single day. Just know that you have it and keep your eyes out. What else you guys got? Yeah, sure thing, sure thing. Let's see. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'm not going to be live trading tomorrow, but I will on Thursday. And then I'll do my lessons, my next lesson Thursday night. Like I said, I'm doing the NVIDIA, Rivian, and Lucid earnings live stream tomorrow at market close. That's going to be very exciting. I'm going to have to race home from class to make that, but I will. But yeah, this is going to be an event tomorrow. I hope you guys are ready. Let's get rid of all these up here. I don't know. I mean, what are y'all's predictions on NVIDIA? Was there a Quinch stream this week? Nikki, that might be a question for you. I don't know. Let me look in the events here. I think he usually does one on Friday, right? He has one Friday the 23rd. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just going to do one on Friday. He did not do one on Monday because the market was closed. But this Friday, he has time needed to do this one. He's been out of town a lot lately for business and stuff. So he will be on this Friday. I'm going to drag him there. He loves doing them. He's just been out of town this week. This past month.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So we got Austin on Friday. But yeah, Sick Man, if you got to run, man, go for it. Thanks for showing up as always. Not gonna keep you guys here all night. So this is for y'all to ask questions and not listen to me ramble. I've kind of gone over everything. Gonna keep. It means in the video. Oh, that makes sense. I see. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of just gone over everything. I mean, I'm going to be watching Apple and BA to the downside tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised to see the market kind of chop up. I mean, I don't know how big of an impact NVIDIA is going to have. I mean, like I said, everyone in this world is, in the trading world is going to be watching this. So it's going to be a pretty big event. And I don't know if it's going to pull the market at all during the day. It's definitely going to move the market overnight unless it goes flat. But yeah, I mean, just got to stick to my plans here. AMD ran away from my levels. Netflix ran away from my levels. Tesla kind of ran away from my levels. So got to focus on what's close to where I would like to trade it. And that's going to be BA and Apple. Disney ran away as well. What ARM end up doing here? Kind of slowed up. Not much movement here. It's typically what happens. I think they'll push to 800, just touch it. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that. I mean, I wanted to get this 750 break so badly, and we didn't get it. But it is what it is. I mean, I think they probably just thought everyone's going to be looking for this new high. Why not fake as many people out as we can and then dump this in the next day or two pre-earnings? So always got to try to think like the big fish. But I mean, I don't know. I would be pretty shocked if we saw a new high on the video. It's obviously possible. I just don't know that we're going to see a new high. What's up, Jeremy? Because I know I've said this a bunch, so I won't say it again after this. But they're going to have to definitely just annihilate their earnings in a good way to get a new high, especially after today's sell-off. They have a lot of room to make up for one, and two, that'd be another 30 to 50 point move above to get to 800. Very hard to do. My guess is we go down, but with today's sell-off, maybe we go flat. Today was pretty interesting, honestly. But yeah, guys, don't really got much else for you. Gonna stick to my ideas. Just try to be as patient as possible. Market's been kind of weird lately. Not my favorite trading environment. Just kind of up and down. We got kind of a double top here on ES. We're under this 5,000 level that everyone's gonna be, has been watching. SPY is back under 500. So just keep this stuff in mind. I don't know. We're in a weird area. Just regardless, we haven't stopped pushing since Halloween, pretty much. So about 4.5, almost 5 months of just on a tear. So does it make sense? I don't think so. I think a pretty solid correction is coming. Do I know when? Of course not. Does it have to happen? No. But stocks can only go up. So I want to be smart. But yeah, I mean, it seems to be kind of quiet. We can wrap things up if you guys would like to. I don't really have much else to go over. I think you guys are going to like what's coming in I'd probably say, next couple weeks to month for the chat room. A little bit more personalized learning, kind of coaching-ish stuff. I don't want to say too much because I want it to be somewhat of a surprise, but I think you guys are going to like it. A little bit more one-on-one, kind of closed off lessons and conversations and stuff like that is kind of what we're going for. So with all the analysts, so I think you guys would like it, but we'll see. I did talk to Quinch about, I think you guys were here the last time I talked about this, but the option flow thing, the unusual whales. It's a service I would definitely love to use. And, I may just even pay for it on my own. But if we could get a Penny Boys subscription, that would be great because I do think that Mr. Quinch has a connection with them. So it'd be great. And then maybe be able to get any of you guys discounts on unusual whales if you wanted it. If you don't know what it is, it's basically, you can search it on Twitter or Google or whatever, but it's just a service that you pay for monthly. And, when I talk about option flows, like, okay, well, there's a ton of people buying NVIDIA calls today. It's just, you could filter through, like, if you want to look at NVIDIA or SPY or Apple or whatever, and it'll show you, it basically just scans times and sales on the options for big orders. So you'll get to see, rather than catching it in a timely manner, seeing the order go through, you can just go and look at what orders came through for the day or the week or whatever, what expiration they bought, how much they paid. So, if I see a couple 100 million in NVIDIA, 800 calls get bought for March, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Pay attention to NVIDIA, look for different moves. If a huge dip comes on stock ABC and I see a bunch of calls getting bought on the dip, well, maybe that's something to pay attention to. Or, NVIDIA again here, for example, coming into earnings, What are people buying, at the end of last week and buying today before earnings? Stuff like that. So I think it'd be good if you guys are interested in that. I would love some feedback. If not, then I'll just kind of go down on my own and get this. But going to take some Tesla call swings to fill the gap this week. Will move weird. Yeah, I wanted to see that gap fill, but Tesla's just not been the same that it used to be. Do you have any elite plays in your portfolio? I do not. I bought like a couple months out calls when things were really, really, really beat down, like when Meta was at like $100 a share. Um, Stuff like that. I didn't buy leaps. I wish I did. I really don't have any sort of long-term portfolio other than in crypto. And that was again just something that I threw a couple $1,000 into when it fell. So definitely, it's something that I definitely want to get into. I mean, especially since I'm still um I feel like ahead of the game if I were to start now rather than later in life. So but right now, just sitting at all-time highs, not really on my radar as of yet. So I thought we would see a much bigger crash in the market than we got. I thought there would be something, I don't know, I don't want to call it similar to 2008, but at least a couple week period where you get a really massive drop in the market and we just kind of bear market chop down. And now we're just at all-time highs with an unbelievable world around us. So does sound like it'll have even more information. So Pookie might be, yeah, no, I think so too. I need to reach out to all of them. I talked to Duck about it, and I mentioned it to Quench, and he said that he'll talk to his people about it. So I hope that didn't go in one ear and out the other, but we will see. I think it'd be good. I think everyone would like it. Regardless. I know the analysts would use it, and I think it's $40 a month. So I mean, if they say no, I'll just buy it on my own. I don't care. But yeah, I think we'll all benefit from it. So you probably bought the crypto ETFs like Mara and CleanSpark. No, I bought actual Bitcoin and Ethereum. Sam helps. I think I got Bitcoin at 17,000. I always have to look on the chart because I remember where it was. Yeah, so I got Bitcoin at 17,000 and Ethereum at 1,200, I think. Maybe I think it was 1,200. I think it was in this area here. But yeah, not a bad spot for sure on the crypto, especially because $3,000 a coin now. It's freaking awesome. What's Bitcoin doing? 52,000. Let me text quick. Bitcoin's at 52,250. Cool. Yeah, not bad. But yeah, guys, I mean, I'm not gonna keep you here all night. Eric Meow, thanks for showing up. I'm glad you Agent Penguin, you too. I'm not kicking anyone out, but if you guys have questions, fire away. If not, we can wrap up a bit early here. I like seeing new faces in here. I'm always happy to help. You can always at me in the chat. Just do at Ethan, and I'll see it. You can DM me. If you DM me and I don't answer, just say something in the chat because I get a lot of spam DMs, and if I'm not friends with you on Discord, it goes into my requests. So yeah, thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow morning in the chats, and then live trade Thursday, lesson Thursday night, and we'll have a good weekend. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you later.